What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 96. We're inching towards that episode 100, guys. We're almost there. First and foremost, guys, it's great to be here on this fine Tuesday evening. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. I got a really special delivery today, as you can see, sitting right next to me right here. You guys know me. You know my favorite Batman is Michael Keaton, so really excited to finally have a Michael Keaton Batman in my collection because I did not have the DX09. I never picked up the DX09 and you know, all the time passed and I was like, you know what? Let me wait and see if they do another one. And of course, luckily for me and us collectors as a whole, we were able to get another one. So pretty excited to have that in my collection, guys. I will have a couple panel members joining me very shortly. I will say I'm proud of myself. I did not mute myself starting off the stream. For those of you guys that were there for that stream when I started by myself not long ago, I am not muted this time. So at least we're starting off strong, guys. I'm pretty happy about that. As everybody trickles in, guys, definitely feel free to share where you're checking in from. Maybe share a new figure that you picked up recently, some new mail. Like I said, for me, guys, I got this this new Michael Keaton Batman 2.0. I couldn't be more happy with it. I shared my thoughts with you guys when we first saw the final product photos with the texturing and everything. But just to have this guy in person is just really special. To finally have him here with me in my hands, I could touch him, I could put him on the shelf. It's amazing, and I'm pretty happy with it. I have some minor gripes about it. I may share those in a video or something, but just really cool. I absolutely love this figure. And speaking of Batman, some videos went up today of the Jazz Inc. '89 Batmobile. We're going to talk about that hopefully a little bit later. There's some reviews that went out. Shout out to Justin's collection and Philly over at Figurecraft. He did a video as well. So mine, I did, guys, you know, I talked about it last stream. I was considering going for the '89 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. I'm happy to say, and somewhat unhappy to say, because I spent so much extra money, that I did go for the Jazz Inc. Batmobile. So the Hot Toys one will be leaving my collection, sadly, but I'm very excited for it, and I appreciate everybody for supporting my dumb decision. And of course, you know, a lot of people know I didn't think I was ever going to buy a Jazz Inc. vehicle just because of the price range, but I could justify it because I'm selling off my old one, so we'll make it happen. But I'm really excited to get it. I'm very excited for all of you guys that are getting yours in hand already. And I can't wait to finally have a Jazz Inc. vehicle in person and see what it's all about. So I did pull the trigger on that, so I'm excited to check it out. I'm going to read some of your guys' comments, and then we're going to get started. Like I said, I do have Mike joining me. Unfortunately, our sweetheart, Lane, the legendary Lane Kramer, he is on vacation, so he'll be here with us in spirit, but he will not be here on stream tonight. But I know if he could be here, he'd be streaming from the hotel room or wherever he's staying. So, yeah, so I'm going to say what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we'll get started. We got a lot of random stuff to talk about. Star Race, guys, unfortunately, they did get the 1/6 scale Ghostbuster license. I know a lot of us, our hearts were broken after seeing that this week. So, but let me say what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we'll get started, guys. We got Pedro Lopez in the house. Pedro Lopez says, hello. What's up, Pedro? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. We got Gio, the movie canon, a channel member and a good friend. Gio says, Connor, hello, collectors. What's up to you? Like I said, guys, I'm starting off a little differently. You guys are used to me starting off with a whole panel most of the time. But it's nice to be able to interact with you guys, read some more comments, because, you know, when you have panel members, it's a little bit more difficult because you got to get everybody's thoughts in and everything. So we're starting off a little bit more chill and relaxed at the beginning of this stream. But thank you so much for being here, Gio, as always. We got Violet in the house. What's up, Violet? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for popping in. Violet was sharing with me a pretty cool little statue piece of Harley Quinn that she picked up. So I know you're really excited about that, and that's a pretty rare piece, so great find on your end. We got 12-inch Moose Dream in the house. What is up, my friend? Moose is a channel member and a good friend. Moose says, hello, community of collectors. Timely start. Thank you. I try my best. I have a DX09 and a Batman Returns too. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people either are going to be going for the seated position, Keaton Batman, to put in their Batmobile / Batwing. from Jazz Inc., or they're going to be taking that DX09, upgrading to this new one, and then shoving the DX09 in the vehicle. I'm probably going to opt for the seated version from Jazz Inc. because I really would like to have one sitting in the cockpit of my Batmobile, so I'm really stoked that he's actually doing that version. I think it's pretty clever. And Moose says he has the 2.0 in order. Well, like I said, I mean, in person, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I think the mouth plates look a lot better in person, too. I was a little worried about a couple of those. I probably won't use anything other than what's pre-installed on it, to be honest with you. But I did see some custom ones coming out soon, so I'm excited to check those out. I think Jackson Zoo, if that's how you pronounce his last name, I think he's doing a custom mouth plate, at least one. I don't know if he's doing a set, possibly, but very cool. I think you're really going to like it, Moose, and I know you're a huge Keaton Batman fan, so you're going to be happy with it. We got OG Fan, a channel member, a moderator, and a good friend. OG Fan says, hello, everyone, and dropping the Hot Toys Hotline emojis. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here on this fine Tuesday evening. Always great to see you. We have another moderator and a good friend. Ty is here. Ty says, happy Tuesday, everyone. How are InArt and Hot Toys going to fire back after those ridiculously cool Star Ace Ghostbusters announcements? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to recover from that one, Ty. You know, when you have a license like that and you just put out absolute fire, I don't know how they're going to recover. Of course, I'm just joking, but we're going to talk about that, guys. You know, we kind of expected it, right? You know, they were kind of throwing us a little tease here and there with the little, I think it was 1/8 scale or 1/7 scale stuff that they were doing for Ghostbusters. So I know a lot of us aren't shocked by that. It just sucks. But thank you so much for being here, Ty. Violet says, I got the Mech Black Panther and just ordered a Harley Quinn statue. Yeah, so yeah, obviously we were just talking about that, but congrats on the Mech Black Panther. I considered that one, but ended up changing my mind on it. And as I'm talking, I think Sean's here. Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, is here. I did not know if Sean was coming in tonight, and I'm overjoyed to see you here, Sean.
Hello, children. How's everyone doing?
Here we go. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So power went out, so I'm waiting for my router to reset, so I called in on my phone.
Hey, we appreciate you making it happen. Sean's the guy that makes it happen, guys. Don't forget, at some point, I think it was last year, Sean streamed from the hospital bed. So rain, sleet, or snow, Sean's going to be there. So, Sean, we appreciate you, and hopefully your power kicks back on shortly. I'm just saying what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we're going to get started with our topics tonight. We got one Adam 12 in the house, a channel member and a good friend. What's up, Adam? Guys, check out one Adam 12 on YouTube. Adam says, hi, Connor. It's back to school time. Is it back to Hot Toys announcements time? Possibly. You guys know, especially if you're not new, that every year after the toy fair / ACG HK announcements, there's a bit of a break, which is a good thing because the invoices have not stopped. But yeah, I think so. It was nice, like last week we had Sideshow, and I think Sideshow was smart to drop that bomb of all the new original trilogy stuff around that time because they knew it would be quiet, and all eyes would be on them. So it was very smart for them to do that because we were all talking about it, right? Very smart, in my opinion. We got Valkyrie Magnus in the chat. What's up, Valkyrie? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. It's great to see you in here. I hope you're doing well. I've seen you in some other streams recently, and it's great to see you back. I hope you're doing well. We got Tom Daly in the house. Tom, what's up? Tom always makes me feel bad every time we go live, unintentionally. In the Facebook chat, he's like, oh, man, I was really looking forward to it. I'm like, come on, Tom. Now I got to go live. But no, of course, I'm just joking. Tom says, I like having alone time with you, Connor. I hope everything is going well. Well, hey, I appreciate you for being here. Everything is going well, like I mentioned as I first started this stream.
That's adorable.
I know. Tom is such a sweetheart, and he always, like I said, he's great at making me feel bad when I don't go live. Steve, too, Evil Sneaker, whenever he pops in, Evil Sneaker, he likes to make me feel bad. He said, oh, streaming 2 weeks in a row? That's crazy. Thanks, Steve. But thank you so much for being here, Tom. We got Boba Fettuccine in the house. What's up, Boba Fettuccine? Boba Fettuccine says, hey now, all. I hope you're doing well, my friend. It's always great to see you. Boba Fettuccine, when are you coming on the stream, dude? It's like a dream that never came true. You know, we talked about it, never happened. You got to come on. Got to get you on. One day we're going to get you on here. And I see somebody else in the chat that's going to be on here soon once we work it out. I got to work out the timing with them. We got the Collector Joey here. What's up, Joey? Joey says, look at this beautiful chat and panel. Well, I guess he's specifically talking about me because I'm the only one on camera, right? No, Sean, Sean, don't worry. Sean will be on here very soon, and you will see his beautiful face. But Joey, thanks so much for being here, bro. We got to get you on soon. I'm trying to like time it where there's just like a ton of announcements, like really good stuff for the official inauguration of Collector Joey on the Hot Toys Hotline live stream. So we'll have Joey on soon. Joey, thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Let's see, did I skip anyone? No, I did not. I'm still going through, guys, so I apologize. We got Joshua in the chat. What's up, Joshua? Joshua says, my 2501st from Obi-Wan comes in Thursday. Let's effing go. Dude, those are surprisingly great figures. I feel like a lot of people slept on those because obviously we got the Clone Wars 501st figures and they're fantastic. But something about those human-like proportions on the armor and the live-action looking blasters, I just really like, and I love that like lighter blue color. They're very nice. I only got one of them myself, but I'm glad I picked one up. I think they're really cool. So congrats on that. Those are awesome figures. What's up, Shane Hill? Shane Hill says, let's talk about that Hono Iron Man. We're going to, and for a particular reason that I feel like maybe some people haven't really chatted about too much. And we're going to talk about it because I think it's a pretty interesting figure for sure. So thank you so much for being here, Shane. Excuse me. CSI is in the house. What's up, CSI? CSI says, afternoon collectors, technically listening in LA traffic. Hey, I do that all the time, whether it's on replay or live. I try to catch it. I love listening to streams while I'm driving. I just think it's it's a way to shorten that commute, if that makes sense. But hey, I hope we can get you through that LA traffic. I've never been to LA, but I've seen how crazy it gets, and I've heard it. So, Bo Fenici says, I absolutely would love to come on, and thanks for the invite. It's purely a timing thing. It will happen at some point. Thank you. Yeah, it's like that for everybody. Of course, dude. It's like that for everybody. It's all about timing. I don't take it personally. The way I see it is we'll work it out eventually, right? But guys, I think that's everyone. As always, if I miss you and I see your comments, I will read it out. Don't you worry. Like I said, it's nice that we have less people right now. Like I said, Chris and Mike will be joining us very shortly. No Lane tonight, so for our Lane fans in the house, he's here in spirit. Don't worry. Guys, I did want to talk about this Hono Iron Man, though. I know a lot of people were probably a little taken aback by this one for multiple reasons, right? You're like, okay, so Hono is doing these lower price figures. We've seen two different Wolverines from them, some comic inspired Wolverines. We saw the regular suit and we saw that brown suit Wolverine. Very cool announcements. And then we got that Spider-Man figure, which honestly, that out of all the announcements thus far has been met with the most criticism, I feel like, because it was $175 and the suit's very plain. And so I understand it. With this one, though, this one's very curious, right? Because at face value, you look at it, you're like, why the heck would I buy a plastic Iron Man? But there's a lot of interesting innovation here with this one. Do I necessarily think this should have been the next figure in the Hono Studios line? No. But for those who haven't like looked into it or read the description, they just saw it at face value. There's multiple kind of little innovative things here. And I want to pull this up on my screen because, like I'm saying here, I feel like Hono, they're continuing to innovate with fair pricing in mind. Now, are silicone seamless arms a new thing? No. But the price tag for this one, depending on where you buy it from, if you get it from a comic shop, you're probably looking at like off the racks, probably $220 out the door. Either way, the MSRP for this one is $215. So, you know, I paid...
I think that's a good deal for an Iron Man.
Right. Like, Sean, like, you know, and I wanted to pull this guy into frame because, guys, you know, a lot of people have asked me, like, well, shit, are you going to get this new one because you have the die-cast one? And that's the tough decision, right? I've got the die-cast one right here in my hands. I could feel it. I could touch it. It's in my collection. So how do I feel about this new announcement? Do I feel cheated by Hot Toys? Not necessarily. And the reason I say that is because I've got a die-cast one here. This one's substantial. It's got metal parts to it. It comes with a head sculpt. Sure, when you look at them side by side, yeah, I would agree with the sentiment that this one's more comic accurate. It doesn't have those gaps in the joints. It doesn't have, like, you know, where you have that bicep swivel on the side there. Let me pull myself back up. You have that bicep swivel on the side there. You can see there's gaps there. So a lot of people, you know, comparing the two now are going to be like, well, you know, I prefer the Hono because it's seamless. But there are some things to worry about with this one. With silicone, you know, we're always worried that if you keep it in a pose over time, what's going to happen to that? So That's the kind of the drawback there. Be careful with posing this. Don't think just because this is a new product that it won't have the same issues. So I'm still wary about the silicone thing. The other thing is something really cool with this one. It's actually magnetic activated LED, which is not anything new in 6 scale, but it's something that Hot Toys decided to do with this one. Now, my question that arises for that is the battery going to be easily swappable? Are they going to put in a hardwired battery that just dies eventually, but has a longer lifespan, like a clock or like a watch battery? Who knows how they're going to do it? I haven't looked into it that far, and I don't know if they even mentioned that, but pretty cool idea to have that magnetic activated repulsor and the arc reactor. I think it's pretty neat. It's a very fair price point, $215, like I said, and I think a lot of people will be eager to jump on this who didn't want to spend the die-cast money for the other one. Now, another thing, and after I say this, we'll pass it on to you, Sean. Another interesting thing about this one is, if you guys remember back in the day when they used to do the plastic Iron Man figures, over time, some of them had issues. They actually legitimately used to call it the pink panties issue, where the crotch armor would fade into a pink color because of the type of paint that they used on the plastic. So hopefully this one doesn't have that issue, but obviously we have no idea if that's going to pop up later. Who knows? Obviously with that, keep your figures out of UV/sunlight. That's just an absolute killer for plastics especially. But none of these figures, if you could swing it, should be in direct sunlight. That's definitely a killer of all action figures, no matter who the company is. But yeah, that's my thought on this, guys. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I actually really do like this die-cast version. I may decide down the road. I haven't pre-ordered this one, and as of right now, I'm not getting it. I may decide down the road to ditch this one and just go for the Hono version because it is a bit more seamless looking. But like I said, there's something to be said about having the die-cast figure. I just really like that, and I love the head sculpt that comes with this because I was actually considering using that. The head sculpt is dope. I think that's probably my favorite like animated Marvel sculpt they've done. So yeah, how many of you guys in the chat are picking this one up? I'm very curious. And how many of you guys who have this existing die-cast one are picking this one up? And yeah, so it is, Moose is right, this is like an infused silicone, but again, I for me personally, I don't know if I'm willing to say like, oh, you could pose the crap out of it and not have to worry about it, because at least all the figures that I've seen that use silicone, there's always cases where the silicone rips. So I'm very curious to see how this holds up over time. It does look more durable than the typical like TB League style silicone bodies we've seen. But it's very interesting, right? I'm sure it depends on how hard you pose it, just like everything silicone, but very curious. Sean, I want to pass it to you though. I want to ask you first and foremost, do you have the comic Origins version or this previous die-cast version that came out prior to this one? Sorry, and then the second follow-up to that would be, what are your thoughts? Excuse me, voice crack. What are your thoughts on this one, and are you picking this one up?
So I've already have this on pre-order. I am getting it. I like it, and looking at like the groin area, I don't think the pink panty Iron Man tradition for plastic is going to continue. But it does look more accurate to when comics were out, especially in like the 70s and 80s. Because the first comic I ever had was an Iron Man one. And so when this came out, it made me think about that, the first comic I ever had. And this looks more just like how it used to be, where looked like he just had folded up jeans in a suitcase and he just pulled them on. And
right.
I do like how you can see the eyes through the helmet.
Yeah, I don't know if I get like a close up, and that was one of the things, and I completely forgot to mention that. So thanks for bringing that up, Sean. That was one of the things that kind of had me like, damn, that's kind of cool. But again, like with the die-cast, when you get a full head sculpt, so you can kind of see it here, guys. If what Sean's talking about, you can actually see the man behind the mask, which is really cool. That's a very clever feature in a figure for $215 from Hono. So thanks for pointing that out. I completely forgot about that. So I saw a photo from Secret Base, and I'm like, that's really cool. Sorry, go ahead,
I
Sean.
do want. Oh, you're good. I do want to know, like, with the instructions and everything, is it going to have like a time frame of how long the silicone can last?
That would be
Um,
interesting.
and since this was announced, I've heard like on other streams, people make comments about, oh, the silicone's painted over, so it should be fine. Okay, well, if it's painted over, what about if it's folded
The paint
or
cracking or wearing
posing?
away.
Yeah. I mean, what
Yeah.
happens then? Does the silicone start to degenerate from that? Or I would maybe do like outlandish posing with this when I first get it,
Yeah.
just to take some pictures of it. But after that, I would leave it. I would find a good, nice, hard pose to put it in where it's really presentable. And that's it. Nothing outlandish. Not like,
Yeah.
what I would do with Batman Begins from Arkham Knight, or any of the diecast ones that I could keep in a freaking exaggerated pose or dynamic pose, because this, I wouldn't want to risk it. Now, if I was able to get a second one cheap, then maybe I would risk doing a dynamic pose with one and
Right,
doing
maybe
a
then you could go
pose
all
with
out because
another.
you'd be less worried about it because you have one that's in pristine. But yeah, Sean, I think the rule of thumb with this one is like better safe than sorry. Obviously, we're gonna have those troopers out there that just go all out and just see what happens. But like Clone Trooper saying here, I'd be afraid of the silicone sticking to the red paint. So it's like it sucks that we have to assume this stuff may happen, but we have to look at the track record, right? We have to look at like the issues we've had with pleather, issues we've had with plastic, issues we've had with silicone. So it's like if this turns out, Sean, and this is like their a breakthrough for the silicone technology on their figures, awesome. But as a educated collector, we have to assume that that's not the case, because like you said, anything could happen if you put it in a crazy hard pose over time. I think that's a great point. Who's to say that having it bent, that paint that's painted over the silicone won't crack? Obviously, like Moose mentioned, this is infused silicone, so the color should be much deeper into the silicone to where we don't experience that. But you never know. Who knows how this process was done.
Well, not to mention the fact too about silicone products touching other silicone products, how it's not really recommended. So say
Yeah.
this is your first War Machine from Hono, and then they give us like a War Machine or a different type of Iron Man in their display, then they fall over and say you're gone for a weekend. What happens then?
Yeah.
Does it silicone mesh together and you got to rip it apart?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, yeah, Moose Tree makes a great point. You could never buy figures you only rent them. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm hoping, Sean, I'm hoping that the infused silicone is like a much more safe option. I don't know if I imagine they're putting some sort of clear coat on the top. So that would be like the main concern for like sticking to itself, and maybe the clear coats, who knows. But again, it's what's great about this, guys. I love diecast Iron Man. What's great about this, though, is there are collectors that just cannot afford to spend the money on a diecast Iron Man figure, and we have to remember that. We have to remember that we are privileged to be able to buy figures that are this expensive, and it's and we don't take this lightly, right? Because these are very expensive, guys. So I have to always think about collectors at heart, despite my personal feelings about certain figures. And I think this Hono line is fantastic for those that can't quite swing the $300-400 price tags, but they could make it work at like a 160 or a 215 or a 175. Because I think from what I've seen thus far, I don't have my brown suit Wolverine should be here soon, but from what I've seen thus far, the quality has been pretty fantastic on these Hono announcements. So I got to give it to Hot Toys for making this budget-friendly, beginner collector line, especially for those that can't shell out the money, because there are collectors that would love to collect 1/6 scale, but they can't meet that $300 plus price tag, and this might make it a little bit easier on them. So I definitely am very happy about that. Whether I wanted an Iron Man next, I wanted the comic Thor, guys. I'm a little butthurt that hasn't come out yet, but Sean, I think this is really cool. Despite our concerns about it, I think this might be a pretty solid announcement and release from Hono, and I'm so glad that this line exists. And what I hope, Sean, my biggest hope for this line is that it expands beyond Marvel. I want to see comic Batman. I want to see comic Superman. Like, expand beyond Marvel. You have a golden goose egg with this Hono line, with the price point that you're selling it at, and the innovation with, like, the, you know, with this one with like the silicone magnetic activated lights and stuff like that. So would love to see some expansion beyond just the Marvel stuff. As cool as it is, you know, branch out and go crazy. That's what I want to see for Hono, because it's great for collectors, especially, again, if you can't shell out quite that $300 plus price tag. With that being said, we have a collecting madness here. Barely late. I mean, you know, considering what you had to do to get here, I think you made pretty good time. So thank you so much for being here, Chris. Chris, we're kind of having a little bit of a discussion. Sean was just talking about his thoughts on this Hono Iron Man, you know, the materials used here, the silicone. Of course, we're wary about silicone, despite this being the infused silicone, where it's not just painted on the surface, it's like actually like dyed into the material. So yeah, we're talking about the Pedro. Man, that anyways.
You know, I'm looking at the arms though, and they kind of remind me of. You remember Infinity War Thor?
Yes, I love that figure, and I know exactly what you're getting at. The armored arms with that one.
No, the actual regular arms with it.
Oh, really?
Like the
armored arms
and everything, and just like the sculpt of it. You know, just a different color.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the actual like bicep, the way it's formed and stuff. I could see that. Yeah. I thought you were getting at that, like the armored arms were similar. I'm like, oh yeah, I could see what you're talking about there. But Clone Trooper.
Yeah, if you go back to that, like right there, yeah.
Yeah, like I can see what you mean by like the structure of the arm. I definitely see what you're talking about. Clone Trooper says, will the dyed silicone leach over time like most plastics? You will get a sticky gold residue on the surface. Just thinking out loud. That actually happened to me a couple times with with Wonder Woman figures. Like I had a couple that were brand new, like sealed in the box, and when I pulled the the plastic top layer off that they used to protect it from the clamshell, it had like red residue from the armor. So maybe, excuse me. But Chris, before we move on from this Iron Man, because I know a lot of people are eager to look at some of the other stuff from this week. What are your thoughts on a $215 Iron Man figure with silicone limbs? You have magnetic operated battery powered repulsors and the arc reactor. Some pretty cool little innovative things for a fairly priced figure. And what are your thoughts on how the Hono line has progressed with pricing in mind? You know, we've seen anywhere from $160 to $215 now with this Iron Man for pricing. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as far as pricing goes, they're pretty good with that. But again, I would say like you pay for what you get, and if it's supposed to be like more entry level kind of stuff, then I think you're gonna get that. As far as like that silicone stuff, anything I've dealt with, like, and it happens with lightsabers too. If they use like the grips and stuff, like you can develop like sticky residue or any type of silicone. Like it fades. Touching it too much, like people make jokes, but that's just what silicone does.
That's true.
Like over time, like it can just fade, and then it kind of reminds me right now the Turbo Man suit is what that is looking like.
Yeah. Imagine someone made a custom out of this, like just modified this body, changed some of the armor out.
My first thought was like, I mean, where is it, the red part or the gold part, or is it like all of it?
I know the limbs, guys in the chat, I don't know if this torso is silicone as well. I know the limbs are silicone. Sean, I don't know if you know off the top of your head, because I'm very curious about that. I don't know if they mentioned if the torso.
Because like I mean, my main
it looks to be the same
plastic.
material. So what was that, Sean? It's plastic. Okay.
My main point is wherever it is that has to be articulated, like you could also develop like some discoloring from it being stretched. Like I know it's dyed, and that would kind of, to me, pose it even more to happen with like, like if you take a certain thing, like stretch it or move it over, you can get the unrefined cut, like it'll become like a more pinkish, or if it's gold, like the whitish. So I don't know. This would be one, if I bought it, I would want it for the representation because it does look very accurate to what it's supposed to be. And just leave it at that, like a standard put, just like this. And that's it.
Yeah, and like before you came in, I showed my die-cast version here, and I do agree, when you look at this one, it's certainly more accurate. I think the one thing that I do prefer on this one is the shade of yellow versus what you see on the Hono here, because the Hono is like a pearlescent yellow, whereas this is more of that like egg yolk colored yellow. I do prefer that. But that's probably, has to do with the process of dyeing the silicone. There are limitations. Just like when we see them painting sculpted hair, they can't always get the exact color that they would get with like a rooted hair because it's hard to match.
Stuff is hard, yeah.
Exactly. 12-inch Moose Stream. Thank you, Moose, my friend, for the $2 super chat. Moose says, I ordered 2 Hono Ironmans. FOMO ? Nah. Hashtag no fear. Hashtag no space. Moose, you can't say that because right now I'm trying my best to make some space for stuff by letting some stuff go, my precious figures, right? But congrats on the pre-orders, and anybody else that's picking this one up, congrats, because like I said, this is a really, really good step in the right direction, I think, for figure pricing and innovation, whether the stuff's new or not. I know like the magnetic lights aren't new or anything like that. A lot of companies are trying that out, but it's cool, right? For the price tag, I think it's pretty cool. Thank you so much, Moose, for the generous $2 super chat. Guys, if you haven't already, please consider dropping a like on the stream. I would very much appreciate it. Definitely helps us out. But Moose, sorry, not Moose. Big Dog Pound is here. Big Dog Pound. When Chris comes back, and he's perfect timing. He saw it. He was talking off the stream. Then he's like, hold on one second. I got to get my belt. With baby in hand, he's going to get the belt. But Big Dog Pound, I'll give you a big woo! I hope I didn't bust your guys' ears out, but thank you so much for being here, Big Dog Pound. You will get your grand introduction once Chris is ready, which he's ready. He might be, he might not be. Oh, that is adorable. It does not get cuter than that.
He's not even looking. What's up, everybody?
Don't shake his head. Come on, dude.
Welcome to Hot Toys Hotline. All you Hotline hotties up in there, hit the like button. Woo!
He is so adorable. Well, hey, Big Dog Pound, I don't think it gets much better than that. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to little Noah for the grand introduction. He is so cute. Pedro says, also to minimize the stickiness of the silicone, gently apply some cornstarch. Yes, that is actually a fantastic point because, for example, when you get like a TB League body, you could see white powder all over the body, and that's what that is. It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the companies from the factory, they do that. That way the silicone doesn't stick to itself. So thank you so much for sharing that with the chat. But yeah, also silicone glue can repair minor tears. Another great point. So guys, again, with all of these, just be careful, with any silicone or any pleather, we're always gonna be careful with it, right? Because we know the risks. So thank you so much for sharing that, though, because a lot of newer collectors would appreciate hearing that. So guys, we're gonna move on though to, man, I'm sorry, guys. We got to talk about it. This, guys, this just makes me so sad. This makes me so sad to talk about, guys, because, and like I said at the beginning of the stream, we briefly brought this up. We knew it was coming, right? Star Ace, they did the Slimer, they did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They were doing minor things here and there to show us that they had got some licensing for the Ghostbusters licenses. And we were hoping that it wouldn't be 1/6 scale because the other stuff was not 1/6 scale. However, here it is, guys. We do have 1/6 scale officially licensed figures from Star Ace. What a bummer. Man, I hoped and prayed that Hot Toys would pick this back up, or Blitzway would jump in and say, we'll take it from here. But unfortunately, or even 3-0, I would have been happy with 3-0. Unfortunately, guys, Star Ace got the license. I want to put up a poll for this one, Because this one's tough, guys. This one's very tough because I know a lot of people have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And Jungle Hunter Mike is here. Hopefully he doesn't have his shoulder cannon attached, so because he's gonna get a little upset when we talk about these. Oh, dude, that's amazing. Perfect timing because I just picked up my Muddy Dutch this past week, as I told you. That's badass. I love that shirt, dude.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, dude? We just got done talking about the Hono Wolverine, and now we're talking about the disappointment of the week, which is Star Ace getting the 1/6 scale license for Ghostbusters.
Yes, man. It is a disappointment, but don't let me interrupt. Go on.
Every time I hear Mike saying, I just want to do like that meme for like the Hump Day Wednesday, and the camel's going through. He's like, Mike.
Mike. Oh yeah, that's right, dude. Mike. What? Hump Day?
So guys, I'm gonna pull up a poll for this one because I gotta see who's actually going to bite the bullet and pick these up. Let's see, Star Ace Ghostbusters. We're gonna do the classic copper flop. I'm hoping to see a lot of flop, but hey, you know, everybody collects their own way. Cop or flop. We're putting up a poll now, guys. Almost done here, but guys,
man, it's the 40th anniversary of Ghostbusters. And they give it to Star Ace.
This is how we're celebrating the 40th anniversary, Sean.
Oh, that makes me feel old, dude. Ghostbusters was the first movie I saw in theaters. I was 5 years old. Yeah, 5 years old. It's got a special place in my heart, and you really wish someone else had this license.
Dude, so it's so funny because I always love that quote, "Perhaps I treated you too harshly." And, you know, a lot of people are going back to those third-party versions now. I've seen a lot of comments saying, "Oh, shit, I guess I'm getting the present toys ones." And, guys, I want to forewarn new collectors because, you know, seasoned collectors or people that have been collecting for at least a decent amount of time, we already know. Some of you might be looking at this who are new and be like, "I don't think it's that bad." Trust me when I say the final product, there's always a significant amount of degradation. Take a look at some of their Rocky figures, and that'll be enough for you. There's final products out there of their Rocky figures.
Whoa. First off, they announced Rocky figures. We have yet to seen any Rocky figures yet.
Isn't the Lone no, one of them was released, wasn't it? The Lone Shark version?
No. They told us it was released, but I don't recognize anyone from Rocky.
That's true. That is very true. But, and here's the other thing, guys. For Rocky, let me help you out there. The Sly Stallone official company is doing Rocky figures, and they've been showing teases for the past couple weeks of the renders and stuff. So do not buy Star Ace. If you want good representation, Sly Stallone, they've been doing fantastic, officially licensed, approved figures. Sylvester Stallone looks at them himself and approves them, and they've been fantastic. They've done a couple Rocky figures. They did the Lone Shark version. They did... the Cobra Marion figure. They did what was the other one they did? They did the Rambo First Blood with the green jacket. So they've done some really cool stuff so far, and they look great.
Look good? Yeah,
they look great.
I think
so.
So.
I have the Cobra in hand. It looks great. So trust me when I say if you're looking for Rocky, don't fall for Star Ace, man, because they're doing a lot of Rocky stuff over at Sly Stallone shop. They're doing a lot. So just be patient if you want something good. I get it. Like, you know, you might be able to get the Star Ace sooner, but guys, their track record is so bad. Worse than a lot of the good third-party companies. Like So-So Toys and Present Toys, they do a much better job on figures, in my opinion, than Star Ace. And even like looking at this here, guys, like we can go through some of the photos, and I think Winston is the worst one. Like they totally disrespected Winston. Just guys, I can't get behind this. Again, if it looks this rough in the prototype, I promise you the final product. And then are we going to trust them to do the Alice pack correctly? No, it's tough, man.
Like if you told me that was 12th scale, I'd be pretty excited for these. Right,
because it's along that quality that you would expect from like a 1/12 scale figure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like the Mezco ones are really good, I think, anyway. I really like those a lot. But
yeah, and
it's like... nah, dude.
Nah, and like when you look at like the fitment of the clothing, like the third party, the Present Toys looks a lot better. And some people have been debating like, oh, they just used the the Blitzway outfits to take the photos. But even if they did, I promise you, Present Toys tailoring is actually pretty decent nowadays. They're going to be better. And, you know, worst case scenario, if you absolutely hate the Present Toys sculpts, you can get those Present Toys figures and then get some custom sculpts. Spend a little money if you really love the Ghostbusters. There's way better routes to go. Or, you know, if you don't have a lot of figures in your collection and you're willing to spend the money, go ahead and get the Blitzway ones. With some repaints, I think that's really all they need. They need a repaint because the paint's a little outdated. They look pretty good. So, enough ranting from me, guys. I'm definitely going to be passing on these. I will pull up Winston because I think he's easily the worst of the two, especially his hair. They did such a horrible job on his hair. It's really bad. Actually, I might as well pull him up now, and then you guys can kind of jump in and share your thoughts on it. But, dude, like, what is this, man? This is easily, like, and they're doing the whole line. They showed, like, a little silhouette photo with the whole line. The one thing that they did that I'm interested in is the 2.0. They did a 2.0 of the Slimer. It's hard to mess up like a ghost / like alien type character. It looks decent enough. So there is a 2.0 Slimer that was announced alongside these. I'll probably end up getting that for my Present Toys ones because they didn't do a Slimer, unfortunately. But yeah, this one's rough, guys. Ernie Hudson just gets disrespected left and right. It's
hair.
so sad. I
They're
know.
like, this character's black. Get our black hair. Put that on.
Dude.
It's like, dude, why don't you just look at the man? His hair looks nothing like that. Like,
No,
that is ridiculous.
It's really bad, and it's like there's like rows in his
yeah,
hair.
he doesn't have.
You know who he reminds me of is one of those guys from Cool Runnings from Jamaica.
Yeah,
He reminds me of one of the guys from that movie.
Oh my god!
And look how bad the proportions look from the side when he's holding the
yeah.
It just there's something to be said about who has the licensing for Ghostbusters. Is that Universal? I don't know.
Great question. I don't remember.
They must not be very strict. Okay, they must not be very strict about. It is Universal. They must not be very strict about giving out licensing because some of these companies, like look at InArt, for example, they talk about how they have to, and Jazz Inc. as well, how they have to submit multiple iterations until the licensor is like, okay, we're happy with that. How did this get past Universal? They must just not care. It's just such a shame that this didn't get picked up by a better company. Like I said, even like 3-0 picking this up, I would have been happier. What's up, Christian Cooper? I hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Clone Trooper says this is an accurate expression capturing the moment that Bill Murray learned Star Ace was making those. Dude, right? That's hilarious. It's unfortunate. Christian Cooper, I know you won't be getting these, dude. These are not the GOAT crosshair. We cannot put these in the same caliber. That's for sure.
We need Imperial crosshair.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I know. I would be down for that. Iron Dude, I don't mean this in a rude way. I don't know if you're being serious or not. Iron Dude says I canceled a bunch of my pre-orders to pre-order these. Yeah, I'm very curious if you're being serious or not. If you are, it's your money, but I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Because it's sarcasm is always hard to
like.
text. Right, exactly. If you like these, we're having jokes about them. If you like these, it's your money. But
you know, if you have an Ecto 1, right, and you don't have any figures, you don't want to pay the Blitzway money for them. You want to get these guys, throw them in the car, throw their packs on the the rack or whatever. Like, I don't know, you could see a place for them. And
I did see, and I think it was Clone Trooper. I want to throw this in the mix as we hear some of your guys' thoughts. I'll jump to you, Mike, since you haven't had a chance to talk about it too much. What are your thoughts on these? Kind of expand on that a little bit, but also someone actually asked this question in the chat, and I'm like, perfect, because I had this one ready. Why does Star Ace continue to get these good licenses? Why did they have Harry Potter for so many years? Why did they get Ghostbusters when this is and they had it for years. It should have been lost a long time ago, right? But why did Star Ace pick this license up, and why did like Hot Toys not jump on this? Why did like InArt not jump on this? Like, what do we think? It's a loaded, difficult question, but why Star Ace?
What if for Hot Toys? What if it would be a conflict of interest with Marvel Studios, Disney, WB to get this license?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. It could be, I mean, just speculating. I think Sean's probably onto something there. If it's not, then you would think the next tier down would just be money. Maybe the Ghostbusters isn't as valuable as we think it is. Um, it's again, these things can come down to poor decision from one person. It's not always a committee that's kind of like really gives a crap. To be honest with you, like just from what I know about the action figure business, it seems weird to us, but action figures are like an afterthought in a lot of the marketing of films or even these products. I've talked to people that work in the industry, and they're like, we have to beg to get a look at, say, a new movie's coming out.
Yeah.
Fox is notorious for not communicating or working with.
Dude, look what happened with Prey.
Yeah,
2 years after
exactly.
the film came out, they had to wait that long to do figures. That's crazy.
And so people wonder why that is. Well, it's because Fox should have been reaching out, or not even reaching out, but they should have been in communication with and working, hand in hand with the toy manufacturers and giving them the, the stills or the production information at least a year.
Right, like look at Disney. Like look how many times Hot Toys has done like super like Infinity War Thor. He had the really small Stormbreaker. That Spider-Man black and gold suit. He had the red. Like that's how early they're getting stuff. So why is Fox not doing that?
The way it's supposed to be so early that you end up getting figures that are inaccurate only because they change them later on in production.
Yeah.
In the actual film. And that's actually because whomever was working with the toy company was on their game and was giving them the stuff early. But in a lot of cases, I know people in the industry who like aren't even shown anything until like the movie's almost released, and so the figures come out a year late or more. So anyway, all that is to say that it could just be poor management with whomever, like we said. Would we say Universal? No. Who owns this?
I
Universal?
think it is Universal.
Universal.
Okay.
Could just be poor management, man. I don't know. I'm so curious. I don't really know anybody that I can ask specifically about Universal, but yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Also, I don't know. Maybe they signed a 15-year contract. Who knows?
I'm wondering if maybe Star Ace just paid what they were asking. Like there was a higher price, and Star Ace was like, "Okay, we'll pay for it."
It could be that. It could be that. Yeah, we think of Star Ace as a lower tier company. I completely forgot
they have the Boys license too. Like they have such good licenses, and it's like they're squandering it. Like the only figure that Star Ace has done in recent years that I thought was okay was their Billy Butcher, and that's not saying much because it was still pretty bad. But like that one wasn't like the worst figure they've done. But it's like they're getting these really good licenses, and like 3-0, I feel like. Had they not, that company has like taken a different approach this year. They're tired of doing like the licenses that don't sell very well. So I'm not surprised they didn't pick up a lot of this stuff. But
they're still doing Harry Potter.
Yeah,
but that's a good point. You're right. It could just be that they offered more money than say a Hot Toys or a bigger brand.
Yeah,
that sounds weird, but maybe they're putting like a greater portion of their allocated funds towards this license, and they just outbid them.
Yeah,
they were the ones that did the Power Rangers too, right? Well, I know 3-0 did the licensed ones, but before them, Star Ace.
I think Star Ace did do Power Rangers. I think you're right.
Those were actually pretty good too. Like a solid set. Once you got 3-0 though, it kind of blew it out of the water.
And then like So Toys is killing it with Power Rangers, so it's like, they've kind of buried them at this point. And Iron Dude, like we said. Don't want to crap on your decision because, it's your money. And if you're happy with these, go for it, man. This is just our thoughts, of course. I don't want my thoughts to at all be the end all be all to your decision-making process. And I totally understand. I understand. Here's the other dilemma. If you don't collect third party, I know some people, they have a moral thing where they're like, I don't want to collect third party, or, they're worried about the quality and stuff. I totally understand it, dude. I totally understand. You're getting these for $200, whatever they are. I think they're like $285 a piece, something like that. Kind of pricey, very pricey for what they are, versus $2,700 for the full set from Blitzway. So it's like, I get it. So please don't take us crapping on it as a way to crap on you, because it's your money at the end of the day and spending how you want it.
Didn't the Present Toys also give Winston cornrows as well?
Yes, I think so.
It had a similar effect. It wasn't as bad, and I don't even know if I would quite consider this like cornrows. It's kind of like in between what his hair should be and what it shouldn't be. But it's rough, man. It's rough, man.
What Iron Dude was saying there, it's kind of like we do that too, with a lot of different figures. Like Mace Windu. Do I think that really looks like him? No, but I wanted a Mace Windu, and that was really my only chance, So
yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I got that Mace Windu in hand, I fell in love with it, dude.
It's much better in hand.
I love it, dude. And I'm a Mace Windu simp, and if Evil Sneaker was here, he'd be saying that Mace Windu's the worst Jedi, which is blasphemy. But
he's definitely not. When I got it, like I like it. Obviously, you could tell there is like the likeness isn't fully there, but
it's like an animated mix.
Angles.
That's what it feels
yeah, it's like you could definitely see more of him in person.
Yeah, for sure.
If he had rolling eyes, it would have been a lot better.
Oh, 100%.
You would have gotten more of the likeness out of him.
Once a star, he probably has black memory. That's right. Like all the CEOs of all these big companies are like, you give us that license or we're releasing those nude photos. That's funny. But yeah, this is rough, man. It really is. And we could sit here and cry about it all day. It's unfortunate. I'm going to be gracefully passing on these. I want to double check the price because I do think they're like $385. Or excuse me, $285. Yeah, they're $285. Yeah, I'm out on that for sure. Like I said, they did a Slimer as well, which I think looks fine. I still don't think it's in scale for 1/6 because their original Slimer they just did not long ago, and they're already 2.0ing it. That one was not 1/6 scale. I think it was 1/8 scale or 1/7 scale. Yeah. Anybody have any more additional thoughts on the whole Star Race Ghostbusters thing before we move on? Like I said, for me, I'm passing on it. Hard pass. I'm getting the third-party ones. I have faith in Present Toys for the most part. The sculpts might not be perfect, but I feel like the tailoring's going to be way better. The Alice packs will be better. Just everything will be better. So, and what's up, Blake Morris? I hope you're doing well, bro. I didn't realize kind of who you were because Chris told me about it after the last stream. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I saw that you added me on Facebook today. So thank you so much for that. And I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, Sean, go ahead. You were about to make a point.
The price is ridiculous for these, for one. I mean, it's the same with like Sideshow.
Yeah, right. It goes back to that parallel conversation we had last week about Sideshow, right? Kind of the same idea.
It's like, why 280 something for these? It doesn't make sense. Not to mention the fact with all the pictures, I don't think it has double jointed elbows. It looks like single jointed to me, which means limited on posing and everything else.
Definitely looks single jointed there.
Dude,
I honestly,
the suits just look awful to me too. Like,
very poorly tailored. Yeah, they're too baggy. The Present Toys ones, like I said, the argument is that they're probably using just the Blitzway suits for their photos, but like for the most part, Present Toys delivers pretty decent quality for most of their stuff. There are some turds here and there, but
not. I mean, from what I can see in these pics, I don't know, but not even enough like there's no weathering or grime on any, like nothing to show some type of detail.
Yeah, and like I said, with Winston especially, when you see him from the side here, these proportions just look really weird. But
stitching's too big, like the zipper. I mean, it's third party, so I can't be that nitpicky. But at the same time, they didn't really try with a single thing.
Well, these are licensed. These are officially licensed.
That's what's even worse.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, well, then, yeah.
Yeah, these are officially like. Well, hey, at least they gave us, unlike Sideshow, at least they gave us a stand that actually has some sort of writing on it. I'll give them that. We do have a Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
stand.
Usually third party. Well, I mean, again, it's licensed. It's hard not to call it that when it freaking looks like this, but
yeah,
at least you get a stand, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, I do agree. I think the third party ones are better than these as well.
I'm so glad I'm not into Ghostbusters like that.
CSI, I highly recommend getting that 1/6 kit head sculpt for the Part 1 Doc Brown. It is fantastic. I love it so much, and it brought that figure back to life for me. Highly, highly recommended it. Chris needs to get it. Dude, it's so good. I love it, and it has like a slight had a slight cartoony look to it, but dude, it looks so good. I love it so much. But you have to pick it up. It's fantastic. I couldn't believe how much I liked it when I got it in person. I was like, damn, I see you, Kit. I see you making things happen. But yeah, was very happy to ditch that head sculpt for the replacement from Kit. So
Sculpt does look good.
yeah, dude, it's great in person.
But yo, CSI is right. Like you just have their backs to you with their proton particle accelerators.
Yeah.
And just going up in the air and maybe get like a Stay Puft. I have a really nice, not 1.6, but pretty big Stay Puft. You could do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool with that is paint like the floor of your display gray and get some white lines. Like they're all four of them are standing in the
dude,
the
get some
crosswalk.
Yeah, some overturn.
And get some image of Zool or something coming out.
Yes.
That's what else they did.
You
Starries
could really
did a
do something
Zool
cool.
as well.
You're right, dude.
Yeah, Starries did a Zool as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, guys,
CSI Grissom found a way to make them work.
Yeah,
right.
man. You know, I have my 1/12 fighting NECA released glow in the dark xenomorphs, and I have my 1/12 blasting some glow in the dark Xenos, and it looks really. You can have fun with these things. I think.
Yeah.
At $300 though, you know that's a different story, but that's the problem.
Very true. Summers Fam is here. What's up, Summers Fam? Summers Fam says Chris is over here just tech decking away just without his mic muted. We love it, dude.
Wait, is that really what you were doing?
Yeah, he's hitting the tech deck, dude.
I thought he's like doing something kind of important.
He's over here doing kick flips and stuff. Summers Fam says, what's up, guys? Off topic, just opened my 2.0 Catwoman. She looks like a 16-year-old figure. I wouldn't go that far, but I was actually very disappointed by that figure. All the material out of the box was falling apart. Interesting. What do you mean by falling apart? Like, mine was fine. The material was fine. I don't know. Something about it just felt off. I would say maybe like a 5-year-old figure. I would agree with that. 16, obviously, like, you're pushing it. But I get it. You're probably just exaggerating. But, yeah, I didn't have any material. Yeah, thank you, Rusty Bronco. Enough with the kick flips, dude. Thank you. But no, I didn't have the issue falling apart, but like I said, I just wasn't impressed by it. I was very let down. I'm glad that InArt has interest in doing a Catwoman from The Dark Knight because I really want that. So,
yep, and it'll be coming out in 2032.
Hey, dude, if that's how long we have to wait to finally get a proper Catwoman from The Dark Knight, I guess I'll be waiting that long. I do still have my Hot Toys one though. If InArt, whenever theirs comes out, I'll just keep mine on the Bat Pod, obviously. But
see, I have the first 2.0 of Catwoman. The material is better on the second one,
especially on the boots. I think the boots are like a vinyl material. But yeah, I'm curious, Summers Fan, what you mean by like, oh, you're uploading a vid? The whole costume for a fabric was completely shredded in pieces.
Oh
maybe you got sent a 1.0. Did you buy that from an official retailer? Because I don't know. That's very interesting.
Or return that stuff or something.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I didn't get that vibe from it, like it was gonna fall apart on me. But I wasn't impressed by the head sculpt.
If it was through Sideshow, did you contact them to try and get a replacement body or anything?
Yeah, I'm very curious. Hopefully, someone didn't rip you off and like sent you a 1.0 or something.
Because if there's a return address on the package, we can go visit them.
Sean, we're not doing that for an action figure. Guys, really quickly, I wanted to talk about this because Iconic is kind of stepping into the limited figure game, and I really do like this figure. This is obviously like that bearded battle Ryu, as they're calling it. There's been a couple different names for this version of Ryu. But yeah, this is really cool. I think he looks awesome. I don't think this was nearly as hyped as like a Hot Toys limited release because this is actually limited to 888 and it has not sold out as of the live stream here. He does look very good. I just wanted to briefly share this with you guys because I know a lot of people probably aren't super interested in this. But this is limited to 888. I will say the thing that's exciting for me is Iconic has finally introduced rolling eyeballs. So hopefully moving forward, that's going to be a standard with their figures as well. I've been pretty happy with their stuff. Everything I've picked up from them. I have had some QC issues here and there. As of late, I've had a little bit of a rough time with customer service. Apart from, shout out to Luke from Iconic. He's been very good. But yeah, I'm hoping to see some improvement there, but the figures have been pretty awesome. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you're interested in picking it up, it is still available I don't want to spend too much time on it though, because there's something more important. And that is the Nada from They Live by Mondo. Finally announced. I've been waiting and waiting for them to announce this. Yeah. This is really cool, guys. The timed edition did just go up for pre-order today at 1 p.m. EST. I did pre-order this like instantly. I had some issues at first. I don't know if any of you guys were trying to go for this on your phone. I couldn't add it to cart on my phone, and I like restarted my phone, closed the tab, completely new tab. I couldn't check out on my phone, so I had to do it from my computer. So that was very interesting, but nonetheless, this is really cool. Immediately, I could tell you this is going to need a body swap for me. The body looks a little weird, unfortunately. Roddy Piper was a very muscular dude, and he had a very like unique physique, and I feel like a Fison like M33 maybe would be really cool for this one.
Beef up his legs a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe, right? But it looks, I think it looks light years better already though, right out of the box than what we saw with
McCready. The hands, at least, they look like they're actually painted. Because I said this about McCready. With the McCready, it looked like the head was painted. Because I think Viola, she painted the head sculpts, and she's part of this project as well. I think she painted the head sculpts for the RJ McCready, but the hands were painted elsewhere because the paint was different on those. It looked way crappier than the actual head sculpt. So, and I'm still working on my McCready project, guys. I'm almost ready to do my video. I've been making some breakthroughs in the different stuff I've been putting together for it. Finally found some hands that match the head sculpt, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, this looks really good. Like I said, the body swap is essential for me. I think the head sculpt's actually pretty decent. I think it does look like Roddy Piper. I'm pretty happy with that. The timed exclusive accessories are this alternate head sculpt right here, which I personally wouldn't use. I would rather have them done like a separate figure of like the businessman. But you can get third party and custom versions of those on eBay like all day. So I might end up picking one of those up to go with this.
Let me ask you about this, because is this just like a fantasy head sculpt?
Because this never happened in the film.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm guessing that's why they did this. It's a weird choice, if I'm being honest with you. They could have done some other stuff like the gun. I don't think did they include the gun he used in the final scene? I don't think so. It was like that little like mini like micro SMG. I think that's what he had in the final scene.
I love that it comes with bubble gum, dude.
I know.
Great. Nice attention to detail.
That's really cool. The glasses.
He shouldn't have any.
Yeah,
he's all out.
Right, I'm all out of gum. My one complaint, I was like, why didn't they just include like a whole box of glasses? That would have been really cool. Like they could have done like molded plastic for like just to like kind of fill in the box to show there's a bunch of glasses in the box.
Yeah.
So I might end up getting like a 6-scale cardboard box or something. But the alternate timed accessories are the glasses. I don't know if it's just like this pair of glasses here in the middle, or if it's all of them. That'd be really stupid if the glasses were timed, because I feel like that's like an essential.
No, they got to give you a black pair.
Because in the post it just said like it just mentioned the glasses, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
I love the reflective glasses. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a really nice touch. Like I said, I'm a bit confused by the alternate sculpt. I would have preferred them just to do an alternate sculpt with a different expression.
Yeah.
I will never use that. It does look cool, but yeah, I don't. That's a very interesting decision.
I mean, if the hair is removable, which I doubt it is, like you could throw it on another body or something and have your alien representation. You know.
That's true. That's true. There's this guy on eBay that makes them. He makes like the businessmen.
Oh,
and they look really good. And I think he only charges like $160 to $180. I think more so $160, but they look pretty good. So,
yo, you could throw that on your McCready body, and then he's looking at McCready and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Right? Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, this is gonna be so dope to put with McCready, just kind of like building a Carpenter verse in your display. Like I said, I think he looks pretty good. I do think the body at least looks better than what they use for McCready. These look to be, I can't tell, it looks like silicone arms, but it might just be like a sculpted plastic. I don't know. Maybe not because of the peg. I guess maybe it would be a metal peg if it was silicone arms, probably. Either way, I mean, the price tag for this one is $250. I know some people will say like, oh, well, what we saw with the McCready, I don't think this is worth it. I think for $250 for what you get here, I think it's very fair. No one else has taken a stab at this in an officially licensed capacity. Said the same thing about the McCready. It was not perfect, but I do have faith that Mondo has looked at reviews and seen feedback, and I think they'll make some changes because they've done that with other aspects of the things they do, you know, vinyls, art prints, stuff like that. So I think they'll take that feedback and make some changes. I love this film. Love it. I know Mike loves this film, so I really appreciate stuff like this. I'm very, very excited to get this in my collection because this is very special to me. I was lucky enough to see They Live when it came back to theaters last year, and that was such an amazing experience. So this is really cool to me. I'm really excited to check this out. I can't wait to make a little project out of it because it's going to need some changes for me. But I think it's a great base for $250. And for most collectors, let's be real, this is good enough, okay? For me, wanting a bit more accuracy, of course I'm gonna want a little bit more out of it. But I think it's awesome. I'll be picking this one up. I already have it on pre-order. Had to pick it up day one because Mondo does timed editions, guys, where they give you a certain amount of time to pre-order the stuff before they cut it off, and it's a hard cutoff. They don't come back. So if you want this, pay attention. I think the cutoff date might be the 6th.
I was going to look it up.
Maybe
I
the
don't know.
6th or the 7th. It's probably on this post. Let me see.
And we talked about the Lion-O, right?
Good through Monday. Good through Monday. Oh, yeah, we did. We did, yeah.
Yeah.
And you ended up picking that one up, right?
Yeah, I did. You know, it's one of those things, and I guess, was it Shane Hill, right? I guess he can relate, because, like, I want a Lion-O. Where else am I going to get one?
It's
I gotta
dude,
pay.
It's really
I
tough.
gotta pay for it. Yeah.
And it's like my McCready, and by the way, my McCready, like I said, is shaping up nicely. I've got this is the start of my jacket project here.
Yeah,
so this is that flight jacket from DID, supposedly real leather, and I'd be inclined to believe it because you could see that looks like a real leather backing to me. So I'm going to be putting fur on this collar here. I have some fur, and guys, like, he's looking really good, man. I'm gonna oh shoot, I just knocked over like 10 figures. Rest in peace, everybody. But here I'll show you guys.
Knocking stuff over.
Just look at the difference.
It looks so
And
good.
again, this is the stock body, but look at those hands. I got really good color match on the hands there. I'm pretty hyped about that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to share it yet because I don't want everybody to buy them up before I do my video because I want people to be able to find them. There's not actually many out there right now, but
he looks excellent, man.
Dude, so much better. And this is prior to the custom jacket because I'm going to be doing a custom jacket. I'm going to fur the coat and everything. So, wow. And I got a belt being worked on right now with the proper like bullets on the belt and everything. And I'll have the hat. I just painted his little specs that he has. Those little flight, not the lab goggles, but the black specs that he has around his neck. I just painted those black because the lenses were blue, but definitely coming along very nicely. I cannot wait to do a video on this. I've been having a lot of fun with this, but yeah, this is coming along very nicely. And guys, it hasn't been like super expensive to I mean, even if you just do a body swap for it was like $33 for the body. It looks a lot better. So yeah.
Did it come with the hat?
It did not come with the hat. It did not come with the blue hoodie. I'm working on that. I have a hat being made right now. Sorry guys, I'm just picking up my my figures from the graveyard that they're sitting in right now. But did not come with the hat. Did not come with the blue hoodie. So that's a bit unfortunate, but thankfully there are custom options out there for that. Yeah, I just gotta worry about that later. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I said, with a couple mods and stuff, this will look like a great figure. I think with that Fison body, obviously that's a pricey upgrade, but it just depends on how much you really care about getting like the ultimate accuracy. Guys, the big final topic for the night that I want to talk about though is we have the official release for the Jazz Inc. 89 Batmobile. I have not watched this video yet, but I am very excited to check it out. This video is courtesy of Justin's collection. I know Figurecraft, Philly over at Figurecraft, he did a live unboxing, so please check that out. Show him some love on his video. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at it, guys. Now, I did mention at the beginning of the stream, and I told all my buddies because I've been updating them as the days have progressed, that I did end up pulling the trigger on this. So thankfully I have a buyer for my Hot Toys one lined up already. It's going to be like a local pickup type thing, so I don't have to ship it or anything. But I ended up biting the bullet and going for this, guys, just because, and I know it, like I said, I know it's like I'm going against my word. I wouldn't spend all this money, but I think of it this way. This is like one of my favorite movie cars of all time. Steve and I were going back and forth, Evil Sneaker, about which Batmobile is the best. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I love the 2022 Batmobile, but this is the Batmobile. No other Batmobiles, in my opinion, after this have felt more like a Batmobile, you know? And even, like, I will say, kudos to, like, the Joel Schumacher Batmobiles, because they did have, like, a nice Batmobile feel to them. And I feel like as much as I love the Tumbler just feels like a, like, souped-up military vehicle, as opposed to, like, having this beautiful, unique styling that this vehicle has. And Jazz Inc. has replicated it to an absolute T. I mean, look at the wheels here with the branding on the tires and stuff, and the finish, and just everything about it is just so purposeful. And it's taken me a lot to come around to it because it is a lot of money, but I've just thought about it, and I know myself, and I know I was going to regret it later. Even though I said many times I would never spend the money, I would be happy with the Hot Toys one. Like I said, for me, after I saw the final product for the new version, I'm like, they changed basically nothing, and it was just a bit depressing to me, right? I'm like, a lot of people like the Tumbler. I like the Tumbler, guys. I have the Tumbler in my collection, but for me, it's the 89, man. I have fond memories, and I've said this before, of like going to Six Flags as a kid and the stunt actor driving around in the 89 Batmobile, and then they had it parked out front of the stunt show building all the time. It was just sitting out there in like this metal fenced-in area, and it's just so nostalgic to me, and it has that like gothic Tim Burton feel to it with the fins and stuff on the back and like the sharp angles. I just love it, and this looks beautiful. For me, I won't be getting this until like December because I got it on the final batch. But I'm happy to wait. It sucks because I had it in my hands. I had the 89 Batmobile almost ready to go on my shelf. But my consolation prize, guys, is sitting right here. And that's my new Michael Keaton Batman 2.0 here. So very happy to finally have this in hand. Again, it feels surreal to have it. And it's so funny. I mentioned this in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook page earlier in the group chat. I've kind of like grown to really like drape cape. So this cape is definitely improved, but I'm definitely excited that I pre-ordered the Jackson Zoo drape cape because I just love how it kind of hangs at the sides. And this cape is definitely improved. I think the wiring is pretty good. And you can see here, I have it kind of holding a nice little shape right there. So it's definitely not bad, and I think the texturing is really nice on it, but really excited to have a drape cape just because I love that flowiness of the drape cape. But yeah, this looks great, guys. I'm really excited for it, seeing in the video with the spinning turbine in the front. You've got, and I've said this before, I don't really care too much about it, but you do have a fog machine in the back. Like, that's just cool, right? It doesn't matter that it has it to me. It's just cool that it has it. It's a nice little extra feature. I love that everything is remote controlled. There's just a lot of thought that went into this piece, and it's very expensive. For sure, dude. I just know, and I want to say, I said it last week. I'm like, I know I'm being very hypocritical when I'm buying this because I said so many times, but I agree. It's my money at the end of the day. People change their mind, and I changed my mind on this one. And I'm happy that I did because I feel good about the decision. It took me a few days. It wasn't like an easy, like, oh, let me just go buy this super expensive vehicle and get rid of the one that I just got. But, you know, sometimes something calls to you, and you just have to make that decision. So how many days did it take
you to make the decision?
How many what?
How many days for you to make the decision?
I think it was like 4 days, 3 days, almost 4 days. And I was going back and forth with everybody. I was talking to my buddies and saying like, I'm considering it. I brought it up on stream last week. And thankfully, none of my friends were like, dude, like immediately were like, dude, buy it. But basically they all said the same thing. Like, you know, Michael Keaton's your favorite Batman. The fact that you're considering it so hard, you're going to want it later. And that was kind of part of my decision-making process. Because realistically, guys, I have room for one more vehicle. And if I have room for one more vehicle and I want the best representation possible of that vehicle, it made sense for me to go this route. And seeing it in Justin's video, I'm seeing like a great looking finish because I know some of Jazz Inc.'s, like the 2022 had some like fingerprint issues and stuff from some people. I think this finish, looks fantastic. All the moving parts, like here's the Browning machine guns, Justin showing these popping out. It's just so dope, dude. Very, very excited to get this in hand, and I'm very glad I made the decision. And that's not to crap on the Hot Toys one. It's obviously a much better price point. If you're a casual fan but you just want the Batmobile representation, the Hot Toys is a great price. I mean, some people got that for like less than $600 if they got it on a deal or something. But for me, I'm glad I made the decision. I think this looks fantastic. And this one, guys, also has a lot of die-cast parts, too. So there's a lot there, even though it is very expensive. There is some stuff there to kind of justify as much as you can the big price difference. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Sean, do you have the 89 Hot Toys version in your collection currently?
I do. I posted a video 2 months ago about it.
Okay, and seeing this, and I know you've had prior experiences with Jazz Inc., did you put any thought into possibly picking this one up? And then, like, how do you feel seeing the final product here? Because, again, I feel like the finish looks pretty good. I feel like all the parts seem to be in order. Obviously, this is only just one review, but what are your thoughts overall, especially owning the Hot Toys one?
I'm happy with the Hot Toys one. With this overall, I think this is the first product that Yoast has had everything finished up and done in China. And visually on the video it looks great. In person, I don't know. I mean, there's with Jazz Inc., there's stuff on video that plays and it looks really great, but when you see it in person, it's not the same. And you see it, there's times where you've seen it in video and it doesn't look great, but you get it in person and it's better.
That's true.
I will say this, though. His 2022 Batmobile for the Battinson is his best product that I've ever had or seen in person made. Yeah. That was his best product. Everyone who ordered this, I hope they're not disappointed. And I hope they're all really happy. And hopefully a lot of issues that have come up for people in the past are not going to be the same.
Right.
I do know one individual who day one ordered this, and he's not really happy right now finding out that Justin got it before he did, because he was the first contributor to back this up. So that stuff's still going on though with Yoast.
The thing, yeah, I mean that's a very tough conversation. Chris and I kind of had some experiences with that, but I totally understand it. I understand, like, you paid the same amount of money and wanting something, first because you paid that amount of money. It's just a tough conversation to have, because to the average buyer, how do I justify that I deserve it more than them? And, the way businesses look at it is, okay, we can get videos out of this from these content creators and get the buzz going. So they're, as a business, sending something to Justin is very valuable because his videos get a ton of views. He is the end all be all 6-scale YouTuber because he is the biggest channel. So a lot of companies are going to want to send it to him. But at the same token, I understand.
Yes, that was going to be my argument.
This is sold out. That argument doesn't apply.
Exactly. Same within art. It's the same thing.
No, trust me, I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to explain to you, like, from a business standpoint, I understand their thought process behind it, because and maybe some of these people, it depends on who it is. Maybe some of these people, they send the stuff out at the same time, but maybe they give Justin faster shipping. I don't know, but I'm not advocating one way or the other, and I've benefited from this in the past. So it's like, I'm not advocating one way or the other. So I don't need I don't want people to jump on me saying I'm justifying them sending out stuff early. But from a business standpoint, I understand it. I get it. I get it why they want to send it out. They want to get this video out because now we're here talking about it. Everybody else is talking about it. People who haven't had it shipped out yet can see what it looks like in hand. And sometimes it doesn't benefit YouTubers. Sometimes they get an early copy and there's things wrong with it and it gets fixed when the actual batches come out. So it's like, there's a whole conversation regarding it. I'm not justifying it one way or the other.
But what about Justin being in the Asian market, essentially? maybe he got it a week or two before everybody else for that reason. Proximity
Right,
to,
it's possible too.
You know what I
It's
mean?
possible, and
That's what I was gonna say.
Bretta, for example, he always gets third-party figures first because he's right there, and that's totally understandable. He's like, they could walk it to him; they're so close. So it's like it makes sense for him, and it makes sense logistically that he gets them first. So I know it's a tough conversation because you guys spent your hard-earned money and you would like to get the stuff at the same time. I totally understand it. I really do. So. Let's see. Moose said Justin, Lael, Malachi. That's
Brother cousin.
brother cousins figurecraft guy. Yeah, like I mentioned that earlier today. Yeah, check out Philly's video. He did a live unboxing on it. But yeah, guys, I I totally understand it. Like I said, I'm not trying to justify it. It's just, part of being a content creator, and I haven't benefited from that too much. I haven't had early copies sent to me. I've tried, and some companies, it's like they've already got their setup. So,
I'll say this, man. I have the Hot Toys one. I'm super happy with it.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen one in person before, and I was concerned, will it look a bit plastic? But it doesn't. I think it looks fantastic. If you get up close, you do see some seam lines in some areas that I don't think I see in this vehicle. So that's definitely cool. And then on some of the silver parts on the underside, there's some pops of color and just, some slight differences that kind of add a little bit to it. It's definitely impressive.
Yeah.
My take on it was that I felt like the Hot Toys would serve my needs in my display, but I really wanted the 22 because it's not available by Hot Toys. So
that's a very good point. Yeah. And they kind of made a smart decision there because they did 2 versions of it and both versions are waitlisted. So obviously that paid off for them. And yeah, that's kind of how I felt for the most part about the Hot Toys one. I was like, I'm happy with it. And, I changed my mind, but still though, you can get the Hot Toys one so cheap. And if you just want the representation, I get it, man. I totally get it. And I don't think because I got the Jazz Inc. one that I'm better than you or anything. That's just not you personally, just in general. But yeah.
I think you are.
Batman Collectibles with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Batman Collectibles. Batman Collectibles said, call me petty. I don't care. Book is going in the trash because it has the Australian thief in it. I guess you're talking about Justin. Also, 15 minutes for this car is a joke. At the end of the day, I'm not going to comment on what other people do with their videos and stuff like that, and I understand you guys have your own personal thoughts and feelings. I don't want to get into it on stream. I will say on the 15 minutes comment, I probably would spend a lot more time on it, just because I have a hard time getting figure reviews under like 15 minutes because, there's so much that you want to say. I try to keep the videos less because I know with especially with TikTok and YouTube Shorts being big, you kind of lose people's attention after a certain amount of time. So if I do end up doing a review on this vehicle, I may down the road, but it's just going to be so December, at that point people have forgotten about it. So I may or may not, but either way, to that point, I probably would have spent more time on it just because it's very difficult, especially a vehicle, because I like showing assembly and stuff like that. I would have had probably a longer video, but I do appreciate the $5 super chat. I'm sure you're very excited about this, being that you are Batman Collectibles. It's a great looking piece. I'm really excited to check it out. And one of the things that I was really that kind of swayed me in the other direction as well. Originally, I didn't really care much about the scaling, and then when I saw the Hot Toys Batman next to the Batmobile, and I saw that the scaling wasn't adjusted much at all, I kind of wanted this one even more after that as well, just because I felt like it scaled much better with the vehicle. And seeing it here again, the finish just looks fantastic. I feel like the color of the finish just looks a lot better on this one. No, and I understand it, Batman. I just don't, everybody has things to say about Justin and things like that. I just don't like getting into the personal stuff. I don't like doing that. But I totally agree. I know what you're saying about the 15 minutes and stuff, but everybody has their own way of doing things, and I don't want to sit here and trash Justin or anybody else on stream. So, but I do appreciate the $5 super chat, and I hope that you're very excited to pick this up, because I know a lot of people have been waiting a bit for this one, because you've had it on these long payment plans, and I'm glad that at least what we're seeing here, Yoast has delivered on his promise. I think it looks fantastic. So hopefully the QC and everything is good across the board. And I think a lot of people, including myself, will be very happy. So, let's see. Blake says, I mean, honestly, if I was in his position, I wouldn't think about twice about getting it first, but I get it. No, and yeah, Blake, a lot of times as a YouTuber / content creator, whatever you call yourself, you have to remove yourself from your own head and look at it from other perspectives. So I totally understand the frustration, especially with like in our early batch system and stuff, because there's a huge gap there. At least with Yoast, he's sending this stuff out. It's not like he just sent it to Justin and everybody else is waiting months to get theirs. He sent the stuff out. So, and Justin and everybody else who got theirs.
That's another good point too. Is like you can't control shipping. Like weather has to factor into it. How far you are.
What do you know about it?
I only am in the company.
Yeah.
But no, I'm kind of with you. I agree on your point or whatever. And even if I wasn't into the content space, you kind of this wouldn't really apply to like they said because it's sold out. But you're doing that transaction where it's like sending you a product and you're promoting me like for my business to give me like viewership or more eyes on me. It's like a trading thing, and depending on the creator and someone like Justin who does have that big following, it is what it is. And it's not just with toys, it's like with everything you see around here. It's why like you see athletes partnered with Nike or Adidas, like stuff
right,
like
let's say I was the very first one to get this vehicle. Maybe over time I would get like 10K views, right? Justin, he posts a video of this, he's going to get 80,000 views in a week, or you know what I mean? So it's like I understand it. And again, I don't want to sit here and crap on Justin. There's enough of that. I understand people's personal opinions, but we don't do that here. So
there's another benefit to
Wait. You ask us our opinion on items all the time. He's just a different item.
Sean, we're not itemizing human beings.
He's a commodity.
Why not?
But would you guys agree though that like, hey, listen, I don't mind necessarily an influencer batch that might be a week or so ahead, because it could give the consumer a chance to say, you know what, I'm canceling that order. That thing looks like crap. So it can help in that regard too. Yeah,
there certainly are pluses and minuses, and again, I putting myself in the average collector's shoes, I understand the frustration. But that's just part of the game, and a lot of companies do it. Even if you don't know about it, a lot of companies do it, like 3-0 and Asmus and companies like that. They send stuff early. For the most part, I don't get anything early. Kit will like ship my stuff out first, for pre-orders. Most of the time, I'm so crazy with pre-orders, I do pre-order it day one. But even if it doesn't, sometimes Kit will, ship my stuff out first. But I get it the same time as everybody else. Like you guys can look at my track record. When I get stuff in the US, it still takes like over a week. He's not upgrading shipping or anything like that. So, yeah.
Hey, Connor, is this USB powered?
That's a good question. Being a new purchaser, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I would
probably
think
not,
so.
and you're gonna have to get an adapter for it.
Yeah,
it's probably not. Okay.
It's not. So you're gonna have to go through, look for an adapter. Usually, no, he doesn't put them in the instructions. You have to look on the Facebook page to see what adapter he mentions that you're going to need for it.
Oh, really? Okay.
But just be careful with it and do tests first. Like use a socket that you don't have anything else plugged into.
Yeah.
It's just
Sean, did you go
spend
like
some decent money on an adapter for a super expensive vehicle like this. And Mark says, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, like along with like YouTubers getting stuff early, he says, I have one on pre-order, but my strategy has been to stall my payments out because I don't want to be in the first batch. let them iron out the kinks. So yeah, that sometimes affects YouTubers. Like if they get stuff early and there's issues with it, that's
We
how
lucked out
companies.
on the board, you and I.
Right, like Chris and I were pissed at first we didn't get the DeLorean, but like look at all the people who got the DeLorean first batch and it was screwed up, and Chris and I got the upgraded axles that had no issues whatsoever. So sometimes that happens. So
I was wondering the little differences that I see in this one versus the Hot Toys one. Is this maybe a Batman Returns model versus a Batman? Maybe that's why I'm seeing some different color. There's a little chain that's hanging down on the side of the vehicle that I don't see on the Hot Toys version.
I remember Yost saying that was a detail that a lot of companies never paid attention to, that little chain. He said like he was I think he said he was the first to do it on a larger scale vehicle because a lot of companies just missed that.
It could be Hero Car versus it. I mean, there's been so many of these.
Right, and he like whatever he had access to, he like went through so many iterations.
The paint apps, I've seen photos on those exhaust like pipes alone.
Dude,
compared to the Hot Toys is night and day.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I noticed it. But again, that's not the crap on the Hot Toys version. That one's the only thing I currently have in my case right now. Man, under lights, that thing looks so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not justifying price by any means, but I kind of go back to that price that like you get what you pay for. If you're paying more, he's at least giving you the detail for your money.
Yeah,
like,
this should have.
We may
detail.
not agree with it, but like you are getting a lot more detail than Hot Toys. And like the Hot Toys one, it's no slouch. It's still a 1/6. I'm sure it's still massive or whatever.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it as big as this one?
It's a little smaller. It's 100 centimeters. I don't remember off the top of my head the length of this one, but I know this one's a little longer.
It's considerably bigger actually. It was a side-by-side photo. And Moose, I did not. I'm in the last batch, so and I'm enjoying coping as we're talking about, the last batch is always better, and thank you, Batman, by the way. Batman says he includes multifunctional surge protectors with all of his vehicles. That's good to know, because I honestly didn't know that, because I'm new to Jazz Inc. Like, the figures are what kind of started get me interested, like the Catwoman and like the Batman cockpit version. So I'm new to his stuff, so I appreciate you guys who are Jazz Inc. veterans sharing this information.
Oh, wait a minute. I've never once gotten anything from him. Like the 2022 Batmobile, I had to go get, along with the Falcon cockpit.
Maybe he just doesn't want to send it to you, Sean. Maybe he just.
I bought the 22 Batmobile secondhand. Maybe he has a problem with people from Utah. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
maybe the person who you bought it from forgot to include it. Maybe. Rusty says, I have several Jazz Inc. vehicles and I chose to get last batch on purpose. Almost no defects as they get corrected. Yeah, so that makes me feel better about having the last batch. I mean, I wasn't too upset about it. I was just happy I was able to buy one because I actually got a pretty quick waitlist conversion. I was surprised by that. And yes, Eddie, you say that very well. Sometimes nostalgia has no price. And yeah, they got me with this one.
Some figs.
This is
Eddie
my
St.
Batmobile,
James,
dude.
He just nailed how I feel about collecting in general.
It's true, dude.
Yeah,
it's true.
Good call, Eddie. I like the avatar too. Espresso drinker there.
Yeah, this is not a truer statement has been said. That's just how it is sometimes, man. You're sometimes and that's how it was for me. I sat there and thought about it, and I didn't jump on it immediately. I had to think about it, and I'm like, yeah. I'm going to look back later and be like, you idiot, why did you not buy that Jazz Inc. 89 Batmobile? Because that is the ultimate Michael Keaton, your favorite Batmobile. So, I had to. And then Yost, he's doing that figure that fits in the cockpit. But the good news is those that have the Hot Toys one, it comes with swap-out arms. So it has swap-out arms for the Hot Toys version. And also, if you want to put them in your Batwing, if you have the Jazz Inc. Batwing, shout out to Moose, because I know he has that, and a couple other guys in here. So that's a really cool idea as well. I really like that. And Pimpazoid says, also, this one has a lot of die-cast parts, supposedly. Justin said this thing is heavy. Yeah, so Yost actually broke it down, and it's actually broken down pretty well on the website. In the description, it actually has quite a bit of die-cast as well. So, again, it's all stuff that you can use to kind of justify the pricing for yourself. It's very expensive, guys, but again, I've had a change of heart, and I'm glad that I have, and I appreciate you guys not shitting on me too much about it. Most of my buddies were just joking with me about it, but I appreciate you guys understanding that opinions change
Dude,
sometimes.
do you know how many times I've changed my opinion on things in this hobby? Like,
Yeah.
it's totally normal.
Look how many people
Like
have changed
3
their opinion
times?
on InArt. You know,
Like
some
3
people were
times.
like, yeah, people were like, I'm not buying anything from InArt, and there's a lot of people that are buying into the InArt stuff now, and sometimes it just takes that one figure or that one vehicle to spark your interest, and you know, things change. Batman says, by multifunctional, I mean Surge that has USA, Europe, or any one other type of outlet. My 22 is waitlist pickup, so maybe later batches. That's a good point. That's a good point. So maybe it started with the 22, and he's going to include that moving forward. Yeah, that's a great point. I appreciate you sharing that info because, like I said, I don't know too much about the Jazz Inc. stuff. Moose says, I have in hand the 66. I told you guys, Moose, he's all in, man. 66 Batmobile, 89 Batwing, the Snow Speeder, the 2022, the 95, paid off the 89, the 66 Bat Cycle, and the payment plan for 2 different animated. So, yeah, guys, he did the cell shaded and the normal, like, all black version. So, that's awesome, Moose. You definitely have one of the best. I know there's some other guys that are
Wow,
really,
that's awesome.
really crazy like you, getting in all the stuff, but you're going to have an amazing display. Very jealous. I don't have the money or the space for all that, but yeah,
so
congrats to you, man. That's so dope. You've got like the ultimate Batman setup for sure.
Hey guys, what was the consensus on the 22? The weathered or the clean version?
I
got the clean.
actually over time preferred the weathered. I didn't think I would, but the more photos and videos I saw, but I actually really liked the weathered version. But I don't think you can go wrong with either one, to be honest with you.
No.
But yeah, I really liked the weathered version. I thought that was really cool. I actually, funny enough, I was telling Steve, like, the day I decided to pull the trigger on this one, I got a waitlist conversion for the weathered 2022. I passed it on. I messaged Yost, and I was like, hey, just pass this on to another collector. But I feel like that wasn't coincidental. Yost is like, this dude's spending money. Let's see if he'll spend a little bit more. But yeah, I would have loved to have picked it up because I still don't have a 2022 Batmobile, but I really don't have much room for that. So if I do ever decide to get the 2022, I'm going to have to ditch the Tumbler because I just don't have the space. So for right now, unless Hot Toys does one and like really tempts me, I'm going to have to stick to what I'm doing. So
You know they're gonna do one now.
yeah, I'm sure they will, especially because they showed that new prototype, and that'll probably get me to make a decision. But like I said, I'll have to let go of the Tumbler because I'm not letting go of the 89, obviously. I'm not letting go of my DeLorean because I have limited space for vehicles, so it'll have
No,
to be
you
the
don't.
Tumbler.
Dude, you're good.
I thought
You're
you were
good.
getting
Just put it in the
part
centerpiece
three
on your floor.
I thought
What'd you
you
say,
were getting
Chris?
part 3 DeLorean.
Well, I have a space for that laid out already, so I
I
think
see.
I do. I think I do. That may change too. Maybe I'll. But as of right now, I do have the room for the Part 3 DeLorean, and that's like it. So I don't have any other space for vehicles. So see how it works out. If I could swing it in the future, like I said, I might have to ditch the Tumbler. But I do want to have all 3 of those. Like my 3 favorite Batman, I would love to have.
That's
The 89,
yeah, me
the
too.
22, and the Tumbler. So we'll see. If it works out, it works out. If not, oh well. But at least I have the ultimate 89 Batmobile for myself,
Absolutely.
which is the Jazz Inc.
Hey, do you have the Bat Pod?
I have the Bat Pod. I have the Tumbler. I have the Bat Cycle from 2022. And that's all of them. Yeah. That's what I have from Batman vehicle-wise. Actually, you know, the Bat Pod I got on a deal super cheap, and for what it's worth, you know, I think it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I like it.
I do too.
I got my Catwoman standing over it currently because I'm still being a wussy about posing her on it, but I might change my mind. If InArt does one, I might just say screw it. I know, dude. He's Shane. You know he's over here doing tricks with the tech deck. He's listening to Elvis in the background, whatever he's doing.
I'm
man.
listening to your tunes on the live stream. I'm vibing, man.
Oh, also, guys, speaking of live stream, it's not going to affect anything on your guys' end. We probably will be switching to a different streaming platform. Still will be on YouTube, but we won't be using StreamYard, which is what we use now, because StreamYard just changed their pricing structure and everything, and like this other platform that I'm looking at has a lot more features, so we'll probably be switching over to that. It won't affect anything on your guys' end, but it'll just look a little bit different, but I'll do my best to make it look really good. So
Hopefully it doesn't affect anything on your end.
Hopefully. But other people are using it, and it seems like a pretty good platform. So I'm not sure, Moose. I don't know. But guys, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. It's been an awesome, fun stream. I know this week was a little bit on the slower side. I know a lot of people, for some reason, don't care about They Live, which is unfortunate. But I do, and Mike does. So we wanted to talk about it. But, guys, I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your week. Hopefully we'll get some announcements coming in soon. Sorry for, for those who are picking up, like, the Star Race stuff, if we made you a little depressed about it. But had to share my honest thoughts on it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations from Batman Collectibles, Moose. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, just put on the damn glasses, dude. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Who is seeing Beetlejuice this week? I'm actually seeing it tomorrow. I got a ticket. I'm going by myself because.
Yeah, didn't even ask me, bro. If I was.
Oh, I already told Chris that I would go see it.
See
with
it
him.
again. It's not the same.
I got a free ticket from YouTube. YouTube gave us free movie tickets, one per.
Yeah, both.
So I used my free ticket to go to the early screening tomorrow. So I'm going to see it tomorrow. I'm really excited to check it out. I've been hearing some pretty good things about it. So cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much, Z Mullany. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I apologize. Great to have you here. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Thank you, Valkyrie. Thank you, Gio, Shane, Blake, Boba, everybody, each and every one of you. If I don't name you, I appreciate you. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, I know it was a slower week. You can always tell the slower weeks we got less people on the stream, but you guys are the best. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. I will have a lot of time to film some content this weekend, I promise you. I'm going to be doing a video on the Ghostface custom. I told you guys I was doing that like last week. I will be doing it this week. Last week was just crazy for me. I'm still going to be doing a video on my recently acquired AVP Samurai Predator because that figure is just so amazing and it's such a huge like grail piece. I really want to share that with you guys and share my thoughts. I will be doing that Predator video as well. I'm still waiting on one more thing for my Jungle Hunter Predator, so I'll be sharing that with you guys very soon because I actually saw someone mention it earlier today. Like, what are your thoughts on this new 2.0 Jungle Hunter they showed? So I think that video will come in handy for sure. Thank you so much, Valkyrie, for the $3 sticker. I appreciate you, my friend. On the way out, you are too kind. Guys, on the way out, also, please consider dropping a like on the stream. And also, we do have channel memberships on the channel. You can hit that join button, or there's a link in the description. The more members we get, guys, I'd like to do monthly giveaways. So if we get a little bit more members where I can shell out a little bit more money for some stuff, I'd love to do some monthly giveaways. And I'm just working on other stuff behind the scenes to make everything better here. So, guys, thank you so much. Please check out everybody whose links are in the description. I know Sean just put up a cool video of some awesome stuff in his collection. Please check out the Hot Toys Nightmare, link in the description. Chris did put up a video on the InArt Harry Potter recently and on the Lady Deadpool as well, the Lady Pool.
Yeah.
So
And
please
Jake
check out
Sully.
those videos. And Jake
Interiors.
Sully as well.
Oh,
And he's got Nateri in the background. So check those videos out. And then check out Thrawn's Office, the GOAT, on Instagram. Link is in the description as well. But guys, that's going to wrap it up. And like I said, I got stuff coming. On the channel. Just got to find time to do it. But I'll have time this weekend to do it. So I will film as fast as I can. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. If I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. If you guys want to hang out with us, the Facebook group, we're nearing 1,000 members, probably in the next month or so. So definitely come hang out with us in the Facebook group. And then the Discord, we're making some changes with the Discord, and I will explain that to you guys very soon. Steve is saying wait. Steve, what do we have to wait for as I'm winding down? What do you want, evil sneaker? Yeah, okay, well, Steve, I'm glad you got to type. I'm sure you heard me. If you were listening but not typing, I'm sure you heard me referencing.
hold on. He has one more thing to type. He can only say one thing. What would it be in the chat? Oh, nice.
Was that because
He
somebody
already spent.
All right, well,
Hi.
Steve, I hope your wait list does not convert for the 89 Batmobile because, Steve's now got... I'm just joking, but Steve, thanks for popping in. Thank you, OG, for dropping the links. Good night to you, all of our moderators, channel members, and each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us. And those of you watching the replay, I hope you enjoyed the stream. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. I love when you guys comment. I am not pulling up that evil sneaker comment because that is not true. It is Anakin Skywalker. On that note, guys, we're out of here. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.